Today in your 2012 Audi A6, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install CURT's Class 1 1¼ inch trailer hitch receiver. The cross tube's completely hidden behind the bumper, so you're only going to really notice the receiver here at the back. It's a Class 1 1¼ inch receiver, so it's going to be great for all your different hitch accessories, as well as some very light towing. It uses a 1/2 inch hitch pin and clip. Now, one doesn't come included with the hitch, but we've got plenty available here at etrailer.com. On the bottom, it also has hoop-style safety chain loops with a very large opening that should accommodate just about every shape, size, and style of safety chain. This hitch features a 200-pound tongue weight, which is going to be enough for a 2-bike rack loaded up. And it also features a 2,000-pound gross towing capacity, which is how much it can pull behind it. That's going to be enough for some very light-duty towing. Maybe you're going to move and you just need a little bit of extra space. You can get a very small trailer and load up a little bit of cargo on it. And as always, you should verify in your vehicle's owner's manual and ensure you don't exceed any of its towing capacities. Now I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, it measures about 4 inches. This is important when determining if any of your folding accessories can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube, it measures about 9 3/4 inches. This is important when determining if you need a drop, rise, or a raise shank on any of your accessories, and since it is so low, I would recommend a raise shank on your accessories. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's go over the installation together so you can have the confidence to do it at home. We'll begin our installation by removing our spare tire. You'll need to gain access to the back, pull up your covers, and then just take that tire out. And we're just going to set it out of the way. You'll have 2 rubber plugs located at the back. We're going to remove those plugs. We're just going to push them just straight on through. Same thing with the other one. And they might hang on by a little bit. That's okay. We'll pull the rest of them all the way off when we go down below. We're now underneath the vehicle, and you can see the holes where we've pushed our grommets out. Just to the rear of those, you're going to have 3 screws that we're going to take out using a T25 torque socket. We can now remove this entire fascia trim piece. Starting on one corner, just pull it out. It'll pop out there. And then what I like to do is pop out the other corner and then work my way across the middle. It's just easier to hold it up so you don't accidentally drop it. And now we're just going to work our way across the center. Sometimes you may need to take a screwdriver, or what's even better is a plastic trim panel tool to release all the tabs. If you just look down in the crack, you're going to see these little ears here, and you may need to take your trim panel tool just to pop the little tab up that's holding it in. And then we're going to set this aside where we can work on it. We can now take the nut plates that come in our kit. You'll have 2 of them, and they're just going to sit right on top of your bumper beam. So we're just going to slide those 2 into place. We'll then take the long bolts that come in our kit, and each one's going to get a conical tooth washer placed on it with the teeth facing away from the head of the bolt. Now with the next set of hands, we're going to hold our hitch into position, and the long bolts we prepared, we're going to slide through the hitch and then thread into the nut plate that we sat up on top. Once you've got it started on one side, you'll make sure that you get the other side started as well. Once both sides are in, the hitch will hold itself up, making it easier to install the rest of your hardware. We're now back in our trunk, and you can see where our hitch has the slotted holes that line up with the grommets that we removed. We want to seal this up with black silicone, so we're just going to squirt some all the way around those holes. So this way when we put our hardware in, it's going to seal it back up. We can then take the large washers that come in our kit and drop our carriage bolts down inside. And these are just going to slide down through the opening in the bottom of our trunk pan. And then down here on the bottom, we'll take our flange nuts and just thread them onto our carriage bolts. We can now go back and tighten down all of our hardware using a 3/4 inch socket. And then we'll torque all of our hardware to the specifications found in our instructions. Now back here on our fascia, we do need to trim out a section here in the middle. You do have a diagram that comes included with your instructions, but I've gone ahead and marked out here the area that we're going to be cutting out. You can use a cutoff wheel or a pair of snips. So now we're just going to test fit by loosely sliding it into place, making sure that we clear all the way around. And if everything looks good, then we can just start snapping the fascia back in. Just make sure you line up your tabs with the slots before pressing them in. We can now reinstall the screws on the bottom of our fascia. The one towards the middle is not going to be there anymore. We did have to trim that section out for our receiver. We can then put our spare tire back into place. Secure it. Then put our panel back down and any covers that you might have had. And that completes our installation of CURT's Class 1 1¼ inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2012 Audi A6.